Hi, happy Saturday. I hope you're having a great day. I will not get this up on Saturday, so I don't know why I said happy Saturday. It's my Saturday. I'm going to post this on Sunday only because I have a very busy day. I've already been up and packed my solds and took them to the post office and went to Trader Joe's, and I purchased $44 in groceries. $50 is my budget, and that's my money tip of the day is have a budget. If you don't want to do a whole line by line budget, okay, but food is one of those fluctuating costs for some people. Not for me. I spend $50 or less for my food and household items, and I think I will talk about it some other time, but not today, is those other items. There's so many things that I don't buy that help keep that cost down, but yeah, $50. I spent $44 this week, and I even purchased an extra item for my pantry, and that's kind of what I've been doing since last November or December, probably December, when I knew I was going to get laid off this year. I started purchasing 1 or 2 items for my pantry. Last year at this time I had no pantry. I probably had like some extra cans of beans and pasta, and that was what my pantry consisted of. And now I have good few months of food available to me in canned items and pasta and stuff. So I feel really good about that because it didn't break my budget. Again, did it all at my like $50 a week budget. So if you need a spreadsheet, get a spreadsheet. If you need to just write everything down in a notebook, write it down in a notebook. There's plenty of videos and websites and stuff talking about budgeting, but basically you just don't want to spend more than you make. That's the whole key. And so you need to know how much you make, and then you go through your fixed expenses, mortgage, rent, whatever it is, car payments, whatever. Those are your fixed. You have to pay them, I would hope. And what's left over is when you figure out how much can you spend on food, how much can you spend on entertainment. And actually before those, like you need to save. You need to put something in your savings. And I don't care if it's $5. Every paycheck, something should be going in your savings. That's just a good rule of thumb that you should teach your kids too. Whenever they get money, at least 10% needs to go where you don't touch it in a savings or something. So that's the simple thing of budgeting, is figuring out how much you make and how much you can spend. And if you have nothing left after you pay your fixed, then that's where you start figuring things out. You start figuring out, do I need to get an extra job? Do I need a better paying job? Can I move? Can I sell my car? Can I, what can I do? What can I do with these expenses and income? But today we're just talking about food. I budget $50 a week. I used to do 25. But that's when I used to go to like Target once a month and just buy all my extra stuff and some groceries there too. And I was definitely spending more than, if I evened it out, probably spending more than $50 a week. I have joined the boycott against Target, so I am not shopping at Target, and it's amazing how much money I've saved. But I did increase my food budget to $50 because occasionally, I have to buy things like shampoo, toilet paper, toothpaste. I very rarely buy paper towels, but that would be in there too. So I can't think of anything else much that I need, but that's my budget. And some weeks, like this week, I spent less, and mainly because I don't have a normal food this week. I have planned ahead so that I probably won't be cooking a lot, and so I bought some convenience foods. So I probably would have spent less because I probably would have just bought like some fresh veggies and stuff. I already have tofu in the fridge, so I don't need that. And It's a little different because I bought some frozen foods and stuff like that. So, and some snacks, because it's just going to be that kind of week. So that was a very simplified look at budgeting. I definitely recommend you look into some other sources. I am just me. I've been budgeting since I was, in one way or another, since I was 18, and I wasn't always good at it. Sometimes I failed at it miserably, but I learned from my mistakes, and that's kind of the thing, is you're gonna make a mistake every now and then, and as long as you learn from it and do better, that's just the way it is. So don't be too hard on yourself. If you find yourself always going over budget in a category, figure out why, or you may need to just have more for that budget, and that's okay. It's just if you have to be real about what you're actually spending, otherwise it's not going to work. So yeah, these are the tips for Saturday, Sunday. Is have a budget and stick to it. So like in my example, I have $50. If for some reason something on my grocery list goes way up in price, as we're dealing with price increases all over the place, if it's like astronomical, there's a good chance I'm not going to buy it. Like, it's not that I buy the same foods every week. I spend $50 a week, and it has to fit in there. If for some reason I haven't noticed anything, because I don't buy meat, and so meat prices don't affect me. Veggie prices have remained somewhat stable. There's definitely an increase, but I've still been able to work it in by buying seasonal vegetables, things like that. Also, frozen vegetables tend to, so that I don't waste as much food. I have frozen vegetables in the freezer, so those have remained relatively steady. But I also, to fit into that budget, because prices have gone up, I've bought way less snacks. Like, I think I used to have more snacks in my cupboard, and they're just that gets off, because I need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So snacks are off. Like, something's got to go, and usually it's snacks, which is fine. I usually just pick up more fruit, or I've been making, like, if I really, really need a snack, I make cake in a mug. It's very easy, and I already have the ingredients on hand. I have flour, I have oil, I have cacao powder, because I like make little chocolate cakes in the microwave, and that's the treat. It's very easy. Also, I don't buy eggs, so it's a really nice, simple. It's vegan. I don't eat vegan all the time, but definitely vegetarian. And eggs have been expensive, so I don't have to purchase eggs. So part of my lifestyle makes it pretty easy to eat on $50 a week. But again, the $50 also includes, like, if I need toothpaste, shampoo, whatever, soap. Yeah, so budgeting is important, and choosing. Don't go through the grocery store blindly. I don't use coupons, because most of the stuff I buy aren't coupons. I'm trying to think of what I bought at Trader Joe's today. One, at Trader Joe's, there's very few things that aren't their brand, so I don't need coupons. But like, I don't really buy any other name brands anymore, so coupons don't really do me any good. I also shop at Aldi's sometimes. I've been having some bad luck at Aldi's, so I went back to Trader Joe's for a little bit, but Aldi's, I could spend much less. They just don't always have everything I want. They don't have a lot of the freezer items that I like to have on hand, but I definitely, my average spending at Aldi's is like $25, $27 a week, and that is also including buying something extra for my pantry. So I spend a lot less at Aldi's. But instead of shopping at Target, I've been picking up mostly my shampoos and stuff and whatever I need at Aldi. It's like a mini Target. I don't think I've ever noticed that, because they have that home aisle with like basically all the junk you can get at Target, but like at Aldi's. And I do get distracted. I haven't actually bought anything. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have. I've been tempted. I've been very tempted because they have ceramic pans, and they have all the little organizing things. And I had to text my daughter while I was in there. I was like, I feel like I'm in like a mini Target. Like, I am so tempted by the things in this aisle right now. But I will go back to Aldi's. I think I'm going to try a different location because I've just been really burned by some of their veggies and stuff. And I know they have a guarantee where you can take the veggies or whatever you received, get your money back. I ain't got time for that. One trip a week to the grocery store, that's all I'm doing. Anyway. So yeah, that's my tip of the week is budgeting, staying in budget, creating a budget. Like, all of that is intertwined. Make sure there's savings allocated in your budget, even if it's $5 a week. I hope it's more than that, not a week, but whatever, per paycheck. I have an automatic savings come out per paycheck on top of like what I take out of my paycheck for my 401k. And then occasionally, if I notice I have some extra money in my checking account that doesn't need to sit in there, I throw that in my savings. So, but you have to start somewhere. And I remember when I got really serious about savings, it was $5. It was $5 a month that I started saving. And it felt really ridiculous at the time. And I had set it up to come out automatically. But it changed my entire world, just starting there at $5. And then when I saw that I could do that, I increased it to $10. And I kept going. I don't have a huge amount that comes out for my savings at this point. But still, it's just every paycheck, a certain amount comes out. And it's just kind of amazing that it grows. It really does. I know it sounds like you're like, oh, it's not going to ever add up to anything. Just start now. Have a budget, start a savings plan, and even if it's $5, just do it. And yeah, that's my money tip of the day. I hope that helps you on whatever money journey you're on. You might be like, whatever, I know all this stuff. Cool. That's awesome. I'm glad, because I don't know. I love hearing about people taking control of their money and feeling good about their money, because there was definitely a time in my life where I did not feel good about money. So I love to hear that people are like feeling good about that and taking control of their money, and good. That's exciting. Your money is your power. Spend it wisely. Save it wisely. And I'll see you next time.